Hi, everyone. Welcome again. You know, it's Sunday night and it's STEMsation Spotlight. Welcome, welcome. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're going to try to work out the sound and different things. But I have two amazing STEMsations. And before I get to talk to them, I want to introduce myself. I am Nikisha Washington, the CEO and founder of Knowledge Enterprises. At Knowledge Enterprises, we inspire and encourage girls to have confidence, character, and class as they become our future leaders. We're trying to encourage them to become our future STEM leaders, but if they don't become future STEM leaders, we do want to give them the skills and tools necessary to pursue their goals and become future leaders. I am today wearing one of my former, one of my former STEMsations, Shavanti Archer. Hey, Shavanti. She has what we call STEMsation motivation. And so she does something similar where she's helping girls and women of color get empowered and educated about the STEM fields and just learning about STEM. So if you guys can give her a big shout out and go check her out, it's STEMsation motivation. I'll add her stuff later. But she gave us this nice t-shirt. So I want to definitely give her the kudos and thank you. And don't forget, you can always check us out at knowledgeandA.com and check out Nyla Nova. So we're going to get started because I can't wait anymore. We have some wonderful guests. So getting started, our first guest is Anna. So say hi, Anna.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And our next is Iftin. Hi, Iftin.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, Iftin, we're having a little technical difficulty, so we're hopefully going to get it clear because it's kind of hard to hear. But we can see you now, so we're getting there.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. All right, ladies. Normally, our first question is, who are you? And so during this question, you usually tell us, like, what got you to this place, your journey, who inspired you, and kind of what you're doing right now. And so, Anna, we're going to start back with you. And let me change so I have a scroll going, so I want to make sure we have the right. I'm going to show your name. Let me show your name before we get, and I can stop my scroll. Okay. Okay. So go ahead, Anna. You can go ahead and get started.
All right. So hi, everyone. My name is Anna. I'm currently right now a PhD student. I'm in my third year, and I'm studying chemistry at the University of Ottawa, which is in Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, I'm in Canada. So it's the capital of Canada. And I've been there. I did my undergrad there actually in biopharmaceutical science. And then I went to Dalhousie, which is in Halifax. I don't know if you guys know where that is, but it's on the east coast of Canada. And so I did my master's there for 2 years and then came back to Ottawa to do my PhD. And like I said, I'm currently in my third year. What got me here it was a little bit of a journey. I mean, it's been a long journey just because I haven't really taken a break from school. Like,
wow.
It's just been, like when I think about it, I started undergrad in 2009 and it's 2019. I'm still here.
Wow.
Like still doing this school journey. So it's been a journey 100%. But I mean, I know at the end it's all going to mount up to something. So I'm not like concerned. But it's definitely been a long time. The way I got here was I didn't actually really plan to do my PhD. Like if you asked me during my undergrad or even during high school if I wanted to do a PhD, the answer would be no. Like, I was not trying to do research, not trying to go into like pure sciences. Like did not have that in mind at all. What I really wanted to do actually was to be a dentist.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was like, I had this really weird obsession with teeth, which I don't know where it came from. I think because I just really liked my dentist. Like he was really cool. And then I even started like a YouTube channel when I was like younger on like teeth. And I taught everyone like the different toothpaste to use, how to take care of your teeth.
Oh, wow, like you were really into teeth.
Yeah, like it was a really weird obsession. So anyway, so I from undergrad, I pretty much just studied as if I was going to dental school. So like I took all the prerequisites. I even took the DATs, which is the entry test, admission test for dental school.
Okay.
So I did all that, made sure I had all my grades, all my references, everything I could. So when it came to the time to apply, I applied everywhere in Canada pretty much, and I didn't get in at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it was kind of discouraging. So I went on to do my master's just as like, okay, this would probably like boost my application at least a little.
Mhm.
Thinking that would add like some kind of edge. And so I'd even go into it for like interest purposes. I chose chemistry just because I was kind of interested in chemistry and I found that I was good at it. Like I didn't really have to struggle. So I was like, let me just choose that so it's not too difficult and at least I can use this to get into dental school. So during my master's, I again studied for the test, redid the test. I ended up doing really well for the test. And again, my grades were great. Applied everywhere in Canada, still nothing, like not even an interview.
Wow.
So, yeah. And so like that kind of told me, okay, maybe this isn't for me. Cause like if I'm doing everything I can and I know I'm fully qualified, I'm not even getting an interview, maybe there's a different path for me, right?
Exactly.
So actually, so after my master's, I plan to just work. I just wanted to get a job in my field and just work, make money, and then just live my life. And so I tried to apply to many places, not even like in my own city, but just around Canada. And again, I didn't get an interview for a job. Like, I was like, what's going on?
Right. You're like, okay, this is a crazy joke.
Yeah,
What's
like
going on?
I have, and this is when I have a master's, not even an undergrad. I have a master's in chemistry. And like I just couldn't find anything. And so I ended up working at Starbucks with a master's in chemistry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for like a good amount of time. And I play piano too. So I ended up teaching piano at like a music school for a good amount of time. And at that time, like I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to do. It was just kind of like, let me just keep on applying and see if I get something. So this is when I was back home in Ottawa. And I went to my university that I did my undergrad in, which is the university that I'm currently in. And I just went to go talk to one of the professors that I had who we were pretty close. And I just wanted to go say hi to him and see how he was doing. And so we were just talking and he was asking me like what I'm doing with my life, what my plans are. And at that point, I, again, was not planning to do my PhD. But the more we talked, what he was doing kind of interested me. And he just kind of offered me a PhD position on the spot. And so I was like, sure, at this point, I'm not really doing anything. So why not? And like, as I've actually been doing my PhD, I've actually fallen in love with it. Like, I love what I'm doing. And like, I couldn't see myself doing anything else. So yeah, I'm really glad with what I'm doing now. And I'm glad I actually ended up here instead of dental school.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And that's something that we always encourage our readers and our listeners is that you don't know. You might have a plan, but sometimes you might have to go an alternate route. And I mean, you had everything. I would have definitely thought you'd have got into dentistry school.
Right? Yeah.
That is really crazy. Also, we do have some viewers, so we always like to say hi to our viewers and keep it interactive. So let us know you're out there. Say hi, leave us questions. Make sure you give us hearts and likes and stuff, all those good stuff. So my mom, I can always count on her. Hi, Denise. All right, Iftin, it is your turn. So please tell us about yourself and who you are. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Iftin Thompson. I have my bachelor's in transportation systems engineering and my master's in civil engineering, specializing in transportation engineering. So since a little girl, I always had a passion for STEM, particularly on the science side. It's actually funny because initially growing up, I actually thought I was going to be a chemist. I loved chemistry so much. And I used to like conduct little at-home experiments all the time.
Yeah.
And even kind of blowing things up and, just doing all this crazy stuff. And my mom used to always be like, you know what? She needs to do something in science because she just loves it so much. She's always putting things together. So actually, when I was in middle school, they had this program called the Project Lead the Way program.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they actually kind of introduced you to like a lot of STEM courses. So one of the classes that I took was actually a robotics class, and that kind of gave me my first introduction to engineering. And I loved it so much that I was like, okay, you know what? I love chemistry, but I think I kind of like the engineering side now. So yeah, so I just kept taking the robotics class. I took it in the 7th grade, and then I took it in the 8th grade, and then my mom saw how much I loved it, and she was like, okay, well, they also have a Project Lead the Way program in high school. Would you like to do it? And I was like, yes, 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 I would love to do it. So, the program is very competitive in high school, so it required me to do like an interview, write an essay, and then if I pass all of those things, then I get in the program, because they only selected like maybe about 12 or 15, if I recall, a year. So yeah, once I got in the program, I started taking just a lot more rigorous engineering courses, and again, I just really, really liked it. And then when I graduated high school, I was offered the Lockheed Martin Engineers in the Classroom Scholarship. And that was like basically let me know, okay, I'm going to for undergrad for engineering. So I actually started as an electrical engineering major, because at the time I thought that I was into circuits and that's what I really
I was
wanted to do.
that too. I went that route.
Yeah. And I think, being electrical engineer is like really a common, like a lot of people tend to always gravitate towards electrical engineering first, because it's kind of popular.
Right.
Yeah, like when you think of engineer, you think electrical, a lot of times, or mechanical. So yeah, I thought, okay, you know what, I think I could do electrical engineering. And then yeah, I did my first year as a freshman, and I just knew immediately, I was okay, this is not for me at all. And then I don't know, I was talking to my mom about it, and I was like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. Like, I was feeling like a failure because I didn't really like it. And I thought, oh my God, I was going to be good. And I was like, here I am, my first year out of college. I mean, first year of finishing college. And I'm just like, oh my God. But then, yeah, like I looked into the transportation engineering program, and I had never really considered it before, but I knew that I always kind of had, like, I love transit. I've always loved taking transit, and I've always like been really intrigued on how do they know how to create a transit system? How do they know what speeds need to be, when a transit signal needs to be? And I've always questioned those things, but I never realized that an engineer did all of that stuff. So because it's not a very common, engineering field. So yeah, I looked into it, and my mom encouraged me, and then I took the intro class. I talked to like the director of the program, and he was like, "Yeah, just take the intro class and see what you think before you actually officially switch your major." And I was like, "Sure." And I took the intro class, and I really, really, really enjoyed it, like a lot. And I was like, "Okay, yep, this is it." So I immediately switched majors into transportation engineering, and then yeah, I just, like I said, I loved it so much that I decided I wanted to take it further and go to grad school for it. And I applied. I got a full scholarship to Iowa State University, and I conducted full-time research in traffic safety, and I was able to get about 4 publications out of my work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was really good. Yeah. And I thought I was going to get my PhD. I had a few PhD offers, and I was so sure that's what I wanted to do. But then I just decided, you know what? I think I'm going to take a break from school for a little bit. Yeah. Actually, like, work out in the real world and see like how my work can actually, positively impact the community. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It's so funny that you mentioned Project Lead the Way, because my son was in it in high school, but he would always have a slow start, and at the end he would like really kick it into gear. So for 2 years in a row, he won the Most Improved Award. I said on the 4th time they're gonna name the award after you, and it's gonna be the first time award now. I was like, how can you keep getting Most Improved?
Yeah.
So he said Project Lead the Way. I had a little chuckle, but those are really good, and I'm glad they came with Project Lead the Way, because by me being a science teacher, I can only do so much in my classroom sciencey, but to get that engineering, and then, even in the high school, they have the medical field ones and stuff. And so you can really get a feel for what you're doing and what you like before you get out there, because you never know, you might not like it, or you can change, or like you said, you went and started for electrical engineering, I started electrical engineering, and then like, I don't really like this, and then going on and stuff. So that's awesome. And congratulations, you was able to get your master's and going to get a job. Anna was looking like, okay.
I know, right?
Yeah, like, oh, it was just so easy. Okay. Well, happy for you. It was cute. All right, ladies. So thank you. Welcome. Let's dive into some of the questions now. So we'll start again with you, Anna. Why did you choose your career? And we kind of know it kind of chose you, but
Yeah, honestly.
a little more like what you actually like about it. And, what, because even going for your PhD, you have to like something about it. And
Yeah,
even though
definitely.
you want to go for something else, it really
Mhm.
stuck with you. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so the reason why I actually chose my specific, I guess, supervisor and program, because so I'm doing bioorganic chemistry.
Oh, that's
That's like
a hard chemistry. Ooh, that's the,
it's
ooh,
super, it's difficult, but it's super interesting. And like
oh,
I'm,
say
I know, but like I'm the kind of person that I have to do something that intrigues me, even
yeah.
if like something will be super easy, but I'm not interested, I won't do well in it, right? So as long as I
Myself, I need a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as I find that interest, like I don't really let like the difficulties scare me in a way, but I like it just because it's very creative. So because it's more synthetic chemistry, you're creating something,
Yeah.
right? So you're either creating something that hasn't been made before, or you're creating something and then using it for a purpose that hasn't been used for before, right? So in my specific research, we're creating molecules that will help prevent ice damage when you freeze different cell types. So say if you freeze like blood or you freeze stem cells to preserve them. And so our molecules will prevent ice growth, which actually leads to damage of the cells. And so I like it also just because we're creating something, but we're also using it for like biological purposes.
Yeah.
So it's not that you're just creating it to create it, but you're also using for something that can actually help like the healthcare system. It can, help people because those cells can be used for transplants and everything. So it has like a deeper meaning to it.
I definitely agree. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to let our viewers know that I have in the comments, you will see Iftin's and Anna's STEMsation Spotlight article. So if you didn't get a chance to read about these wonderful ladies and their journeys, please do, because there's so much more into the article that we may not talk about in the broadcast. So make sure you check it out, and please share the articles, comment on them, get them in different venues so we can get this out there. So, Iftin, it's your turn. Yes.
What I guess I chose my career mainly because I really felt like in transportation engineering, I could have a really great impact within the community. I know for right now where I work, I actually work in the community that I live and where I grew up.
Okay.
And yeah, so being able to design roads or improve access to my community just makes me really just happy overall, and just knowing that I have that impact just excites me. So I guess that's the real reason why I just kind of got it, because I just love impacting people and making sure that it's positive.
Yes, and I didn't realize, like when you said, when I was reading your article and putting it together, I was like, transportation, and like I didn't never even think about that. And so, like
Hmm.
you said, the safety of it, and just the designing roads, and that is awesome. And so, I'm so
Yeah.
glad we got a woman of color, on there doing that, because that's something
Yeah.
like I could tell my students. I'm like, there's so many avenues of STEM you can go into. And they're like, well, what? I can only be a scientist or a doctor? I'm like, no, it's so much. I'm like, hey, you want to do stuff with traffic, you want to do transportation, you want to do chemistry. Like it's so much out there, and that's what they need to see. And they need to see faces that look like them. So I appreciate
Yeah,
that. I appreciate that.
really do.
All
Yeah.
right, so ladies, we talked about why you choose and what you like most about your career. Is there anything you would change? Because we know, some things that may not have been smooth, or some experiences you may have. So I know we're gonna start back with you. Anything you would change about your career?
I would say the difficulty.
Ooh, you ain't said nothing. Ooh.
Yeah, like it can just be very challenging. That's the one thing. And I find that it's really built like the tenacity in me, like just to keep on going and push through, even though like things are challenging. Um, like sometimes, because I'm working in a lab, sometimes I'll try to make something, it doesn't work. I try different methods, it still doesn't work. I mean, I try for a year, it still doesn't work, right? And so it gets really frustrating. So, I mean, if I could make it easier in any capacity, I definitely would.
Now, were you born and raised in Canada?
I was, yeah.
Okay, and so you don't really have, so how is it there, like going to different universities? Do you find a lot of racism there, or is it just like, is it different from the States? So I'm just curious. I don't know.
Yeah, so I haven't lived in the States before. I have visited, but I've never actually lived anywhere in the States. I feel like Canada, there's definitely racism, 100%.
Really?
But yeah, but it's more like, I always call it like politically correct racism. So like, I find that in the States, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's more upfront, it's more in your face,
It's a little
right?
bit of both. I think it's
Mhm.
a little bit of both. You definitely, and I think um, it just depends on the certain situations, whether it's going to be upfront or, and I think in a professional, it's more
Mhm.
like not upfront. Like it's like, underlying, like they may say something and you like,
Yeah,
are they kind of talking about me? Like, they,
yeah,
me, that go, they don't think I'm qualified. So
yeah,
it's like
Yeah.
that. But like if you're on the streets or you like in different, like on the mall stuff, I think that's more upfront. But when
hmm
you're in a professional setting or in a school setting, it's that little
hmm
sly comment. So that like, you sure you can
exactly,
handle
yeah,
this, or what type of
hmm
grades you have? Like it's like I'm,
yeah.
so I
Okay, yeah,
can see
so
that.
it's the
I
exact
can see
same, the
that.
exact same.
Yes. So, well, thank you for
Mhm.
sharing that. That's why I just wanted to know, like, what would be the difference there. So it's
Mhm.
it's everywhere. I think it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's
But
everywhere. Mhm.
I'm so glad we're not shrinking and that we are, being in these boardrooms and we've been in these hospitals and we've been in the engineering fields and we're being in academia and, and stuff.
Mhm.
And we're not shrinking, where lights are shining. And so more of us will start to come in there. And so it won't be so lonely and we won't be so isolated. Like it'll be others looking
Mhm.
like us because we, reached back and said, hey, you can do this too. Come on, come on. So thank you for that. It then is
Mhm.
your turn.
I think the biggest thing that I would change about my job or my career is the political aspect.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics involved when it comes to implementing new transportation projects. It's not as easy as people think. Like a lot of people complain and be like, why don't you reduce traffic? Or, why don't you add in this transit system over here? And a lot of times it comes down to money or, politics. I know, like, for example, here in Maryland, which is where I live, um, our governor is putting more money into making a toll road on our beltway as compared to putting more money towards transit, which is what I feel as a transportation engineer we need to improve on. But because, tolling the road means more money into the state's pocket, and, naturally you actually lose revenue when you put money towards transit because not as many people take transit as you would like. So yeah, I just think a lot of times I feel like we miss out on really good projects, transportation projects, all because of the political aspect or, wanting the money that, the state would receive from things like toll roads. So.
Oh wow. That's awesome. And that's something else I did not think about. It's like yes, somebody has to design that and make sure it works and connect it with others and I currently live in Orlando right now and they had this big project that I guess been going on for 10 years, like the I-4, and it's horrible. And I'm like, and I sit there and I'm like, I could have did this better. Why didn't they do this? And then, but I'm sure, the engineers behind the scene have figured all this out and where to start and where to finish. And I don't like
Mm-hmm.
it to inconvenience me, but I'm like, why did they start here and finish here? And I'm not thinking it's been back there, making all these decisions and stuff. Like, okay,
Yeah.
but it's like you don't think about that. And I'm like, I could have figured this out. And I'm like, no, no, I can't. I don't, I just know
Yeah.
what's best for me and what's my edge that I want to be better and stuff. So yeah.
Another thing, though, that I would like to change too is how they prioritize projects. Naturally, a lot of times, because like I said, it's very political. A lot of times they put certain projects first in more affluent neighborhoods than neighborhoods that are not
Yes.
affluent.
Ooh,
And that's why when you go to neighborhoods that are not as affluent, if you notice like they have more potholes or they may not have the proper crosswalks or they may not have as many trails or all those
little
type of
bike, like you
things.
said, a little bike trail.
Like, yep, yep,
That.
yeah. A lot of times, they prioritize the more affluent neighborhoods because like I said, money, but
Mhm.
also because of, the type of backlash they may get from an affluent community than they would on a,
They're gonna protest.
yeah,
They're gonna go to the board. They're gonna make their voice heard. And normally,
exactly.
in the communities that don't have that, I don't know, why do we don't stand up more for ourselves? If you're in a neighborhood that's kind of run down and stuff not doing well, we should be the main ones on the front line or in front of these politicians or whoever makes
Mm-hmm.
decisions face. And we kind of like, no, well, we okay. They'll get to it. Like, but
Yep.
those communities, they're right there. They're in their face.
Yes.
They're gonna stand. They're gonna protest. They're gonna get petitions, and they're gonna be
Yes.
outside of the what's that, the carpool lane with
Yes.
the kids trying to petition, and we're like, well, they'll get to us, and we need to
Yes.
make sure that yes, prioritize our communities, because like you say, potholes is crazy, and then our cars will be the ones that hit the potholes, have more damage, and then that's money that we don't have extra to spend. So we definitely need it to be, because somebody else loses a tire, they can afford to, in the flunk community, but we can't, and not saying we, but just, the people that's not, don't have that money and stuff. So that's hard to get. So I didn't think about that. So thank you for bringing that to light. You guys getting some good nuggets here. Yeah, good nuggets here. All right, our next question is how you combat the stigma of being a woman of color in STEM. And so it kind of goes back to what we were saying, like, or you showing up for different events. Do you hear some little, some chatter? Do you have some upfront stuff? And then how do you deal with that? Like, still being professional, but how do you handle that? So Anna, we'll start with you. I said Anna, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so in my faculty right now, currently, at the PhD level, I'm the only Black female.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a couple Black males, I think they're doing their masters though, but yeah, I'm the only Black female, and honestly, I've just kind of been used to it because I grew up in like small cities and primarily white cities, and I also went to like primarily white high school and elementary school, so like I'm just very used to always being the only Black girl, right? So in that context, I'm not like, it's not different to me. But just handling those, or being like a Black woman of color, and like handling those stigma, I honestly just let my work speak for myself.
Ooh, say that.
Because I mean, you can only say so much because people already have their ideas of you and what they think that you're like, and they think that your work ethic is, and they think that, or how they think your intelligence is like. But at the end of the day, like, you can only prove them wrong by your actions and what you do, right? So I don't like to be categorized into like the stereotypical Black female, whatever that means to them. But I just like to be me and who I am. And I always like to share like what I can bring to the table, and to show that skin color doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, our insides are all the same. We all have veins, we all have a heart, we all have lungs. Like, we're completely the same. The only difference.
I don't understand why people don't. I know it's like intrinsic hate that's been passed down and all this, but we're all the same. Like, it's just
like literally, like we're all the same. Like, the only difference is our skin color. That's it. Maybe our hair texture, but like, that's it. You know what I mean? So
especially, with your bioorganic chemistry, all the insides and
exactly.
you figured it all out, so you need to listen to you. Like, we are all the same. Like, she's
exactly.
Come on now.
Yeah. And so like, I'm naturally just a more reserved person. So I don't like arguments, I don't like confrontation or whatever. So like, my whole thing is just let your work speak for yourself. Let your intelligence speak for yourself. Be noticed by your intelligence and not by your skin color. Or by, your sex or anything.
And then, like you said too, and I always say this too, it's like not to fall into the trap of what they portray us to be. So if they portray us to be the angry Black woman, and then they say something and you react that way, they like, yep, see, you gotta be like, you're like, okay.
Sometimes,
Yes, okay, thank you. I'll be back, and go off. But you don't want them to. And it's a shame that reality shows over, just the latest decade or something, they have really because before, like when the Cosby Show and Different World and stuff, that you guys are young, but you kind of know about it. Like it wasn't portrayed as much. Now when you got the reality shows, all you see on there is fighting it. That's my baby there, and it's a shame that then they think that's how we all are, and it's not true. And like you said, then they start questioning our intelligence, and are we going to be fighting? They're scared to talk to us because are we going to snap off at them? And that definitely has to change. And I think having you and Iftin and different women of color in these STEM programs and these STEM professions and careers, showing them a different side, then they're like going home like, she's nothing like that chick on such and such, so then they can see that's not who we are. That is just for entertainment. This is who we are. So, well, thank you for that. All right, and how do you combat it?
I guess I'd say pretty similar to Anna. I kind of always just make sure I stay educated, make sure I'm on top of my stuff, because I will say that I am, in my career, I've been challenged very often on whether or not I really know what I'm doing. So in a lot of times, a lot of times, because I know that's going to happen, I always try to make sure I'm ahead of the game at all times, because any type of slip up, and it seems like immediately you're kind of like looked at as, oh, of course she's going to slip up, or, so
right.
I always try to stay on top of my game. But if I'm being completely honest, sometimes I have to remind these people of my credentials.
Oh, yes.
I can do.
Oh, you better let them know. Now. And you can still do it in a professional manner.
Yeah.
And like you said, you let them know, but boo-boo, you better check my degree.
Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. Because I've had a few coworkers, and I'll tell you, and they don't have degrees, but they have tried to come to me and question my intelligence several times, and try to make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I have actually have my master's degree in my office, and I've actually had to point and show them plenty of times and let them know, of course I never try to be rude with it, but a lot of times it's really hard because they're constantly like looking at you as like waiting, almost like waiting for you to slip up or to do something.
Yes, yeah, they
like,
are.
We told you so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I always have to let them know and remind them. And so yeah, I do. I'm not afraid to be like, okay, excuse me, I have my master's in civil engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But like I said, I always do it respectfully. But yeah, sometimes you kind of have to
You gotta let them know, because if you don't check them, then they don't think it's okay too. And like you say, it's a way to do that. And so we're not saying just let people run over you, but we're like, it's a professional way you can do it. And then, and then if they don't get it that time, then you might have to get a little, neck rolling in there,
Yes. Yeah.
But we're still who we are. So, and that's what I love about doing this spotlight. I always say that we're able to let girls and women of color know that, when we walk in, like I say, the boardrooms, the medical fields, the engineering fields, whatever field, we are no longer changing us. We have our natural hair, or we got weave, we got lashes, we got nails. Like, we're no longer letting them define who we are. And so that's when I came up with the definition for STEMsation. I didn't say it at the beginning, so I'm gonna say it now. It's a woman of color that's a trailblazer in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math, but who's skyrocketing to their highest potential, but they're doing it with style and grace. And so that style, like, we still have our natural style. We're coming in there, and but like you said, but we can let them know without, getting out of character. And so that's what I like about just being a woman of color, and just because they, like they said, they're very curious. They definitely want to be like us. Then they're afraid of us, so that fear turns into, well, I want to catch them up, or I want to catch them doing something, or I know that they're, and so we can't have that. So, all right, ladies, moving right along. Our next question is, tips and advice you would give to anyone thinking about going into STEM, or like maybe changing careers. What tips and advice would you give? And so, Anna, we're going to start back with you.
A tip or advice I would give, is just to do what you love, you know, like follow your passion. I know everyone says follow your passion, but I really believe follow your passion and don't just do something because it will make you money.
Make you money. Wow.
At the end of the day, like you can get money from anywhere. If you really want money, you can get it from anywhere. So,
right.
But you know, at the end of the day, like the job that you do for the rest of your life, that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. So make sure that it actually impacts you and that you actually really like it. And like I said before, just because something is difficult, like don't shy away from it, you know, because my mentality in terms of just difficulty is that everything is difficult until you actually work at it.
Ooh, say that.
Know?
Yeah.
Because at the very, very beginning, like for example, when you first started to ride a bike, it was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But look at us now. We're riding bikes like it's nothing. Right? We actually just learned it.
Yeah, so, you learn how to ride bikes with no hand, you know, not touching the handlebar.
Exactly. Like now we're all professional bike riders.
Yeah.
Because we learned it. So, I mean, there's always going to be a learning curve when you first start something. I remember when I started my PhD or even my master's, huge learning curve, like for a solid year. And master's were only 2 years, right? A solid year, I was struggling because it was so difficult. Yeah, like so difficult.
Wow.
And it was the last year where I was like, okay, I think I'm getting the hang of things. Like, I think I'm okay. So, I mean, you're always going to face a learning curve when you start something. So don't let that scare you from pursuing your passion or pursuing your dream. You know, just go for it. And once you have your mind on it and you're intentional, like you will make it hands down.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. Great. So I don't know if you guys can see on the screen. I've taken some of your quotes and then I put it on there. And so then like when people are watching, they can see your quotes on the screen.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of cool. You guys can't see it yet though. All right, Iftin, it's your turn. What would be your tips and advice?
Similar to Anna, I would definitely say first and foremost, make sure you're passionate about it. I don't want to sound repetitive, but
I mean, that's what it is. Yeah.
Your passion will sustain you when the times are rough. So I would definitely say be passionate first. My second tip would be to work hard, and to never give up. There will be times where you're kind of struggling. And, you may question yourself, like, what am I getting? I know I did that. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know there were so many times. I mean, I can't even count how many times I was like, oh my God, maybe I should just stop. Oh my God, what am I doing? This is hard. But I stayed committed to it because I knew I really liked it and I enjoyed it and I worked hard at it, put in extra hours into studying and whatever I needed to do, and I never gave up. So I would definitely say work hard, never give up. I would say be confident in yourself. Like, please be confident, especially because as a woman, there are a lot of times where, like I said, you question yourself and you think, like, being an engineer, in my classes, there were a lot of times that, my peers were outdoing me, I guess, and, passing certain exams that I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to. And I kept wondering, like, is this really for me? And yeah, I was, lacking in the confidence area a little bit, but I would say, be confident and just trust yourself, trust the process.
Yeah.
Know that you picked the right career for yourself. You make no mistakes. So yeah, just trust yourself and be confident in the decision that you made. They'll see you through.
All right. I agree with all those ladies. Thank you. All right, so we're coming towards the end of the interview. And so I kind of combine these two questions together. Okay, it wouldn't let me cut it off. Okay, so I kind of combine these two questions together, and because they kind of go with your future goals, and then how do you give back? Like, what are some ways you want to give back to your community, or just to whomever? And so you can either start with giving back and then future goals and giving back. So we kind of combine those two together. So Anna, we'll start back with you.
Mm-hmm. So when I'm finished my PhD, I would love to get into academia and start teaching in chemistry, obviously, because that's my field. But I really want to get into academia just because, like, where I am, I don't know if it's different in the States, but you really don't see Black professors, especially in science. I can even say I don't think I've ever seen one.
Oh, wow.
Maybe one, but like in the science field, like teaching like science. biology, physics, like, no, I haven't seen one at all. And to be honest, like when I first started university, or even when I was in high school, I didn't even know that you could get into research. Like I wasn't aware of that just because I didn't see anyone in that position. You know, I didn't see anyone in the position of being a professor. So it never even crossed my mind at all. So I really just want to get into academia and at least encourage the younger generation that you can get there. You know, there are so many things you can do with science. It's not just being a doctor or a dentist or an orthodontist or whatever. You know, there's so many different
So
fields.
many, yes.
Yeah, you can get into research, you can get into academia, whatever. So I would love to do that, just in terms of, I guess, my 9 to 5. But also just on the side, one thing that I really want to do, and one thing that's kind of been on my heart for the past couple of years is just to go to Ghana, because my parents are from Ghana.
Okay.
I was born here, but my parents, they migrated here, I think like late 80s, early 90s kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, and so they're originally from there. And I know that their education system is a little different from how ours is here. And also just in terms of the sciences too. And even just like the equipment that they have, their labs, things that they work with. And one thing I really want to do is kind of just like establish a good science program there where they can have all the opportunities that we have. Because in terms of resources, Ghana has so many resources, you know, even in terms of like agricultural science and everything in that field, like so much, but they're lacking in terms of the equipment that they have. So it would be nice to, you know, at least maybe get funding to bring some equipment there or establish something there that they can use, and so that they can make use of the resources that they have. And also just equip the students with some of the skills that we learn here and maybe is not taught there as well. So that's something also that I would love to do, just to give back.
Right. That's awesome. That's definitely ways to give back. And our last question would be family influence, and then you could talk about your family, how they influenced you. So that's awesome. All right, Iftin, it is your turn. Your future goals, ma'am.
So I have a couple of things.
Okay.
I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about when or whatever, but one of them is I do think that eventually I would like to go back to school and get my PhD.
Okay.
So that's one thing. I'm not sure when I would go back, but it's on my mind. Another one big thing that I know that I really, really want to do is similar to kind of like Anna said, my family is also from Africa. They're actually from Somalia.
Okay.
And one thing that I would love to do is I would love to go back to Somalia or really any developing country within Africa. And I would like to create an improved road infrastructure by providing transit or just, you know, or overall just creating more safety among traffic and opening up more to bicycle and pedestrians and making it just overall more safe. I know a lot of times my family would tell me a lot of stories about how they would walk miles to get to the closest market or the closest school. And it just used to always, when I would hear those stories, and especially getting my degree in transportation engineering, I'm like, you know, I feel like places like that, they need someone like me, you know, with my experience, you know, and be able to, you know, like imagine how much improved their life would be, their health, just everything, if they just had that access, you know, better road or just even just a bus maybe that went out there. So yeah, I know that's definitely something that I would like to do. I'd want to give back as much as I can to my people. So
okay, that's awesome. Awesome. All right, ladies. Like I said, we're coming to the end, which I know, don't cry, but this has been wonderful. I've learned so much about you guys. We always leave this question to the last because this is the family influence. How's your family influence? And then this is when you do your shout outs and your thank yous. And this is like your Oscar speech right now. And so I always say it. So family influence. And okay, Anna, we'll go back to you.
Yeah, so my family has been great. I mean, family and friends always supporting me. You know, there's so many times where I wanted to quit grad school because it's just so difficult at times, but always supporting me in everything, you know, like whatever I need. Like I still live with my parents, and it's been so helpful. Like I don't have to worry about cooking, don't have to worry about doing groceries, and like, yeah, it's so great. Like I'm so thankful. And even just pushing me to do my PhD. Like my parents always pushed me to do my PhD. I was the one saying no.
Right. We're like,
Yeah.
you can do it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how parents are. You can
Yeah,
do it.
until I finally gave in. So yeah, they've been great. My friends have been super supportive too. So shout out to my mom, my dad. Shout out to my sister Phoebe. I don't know if she's watching. She might be. She's downstairs, so she might be.
She might be.
Yeah. Shout out to my friends, Omar, Teresa, Olga. You guys have been great. Everyone else that has just stood by me through this journey, been great. Appreciate you guys all.
And we like to thank you guys as well. Thank you. It takes a village. So we
Yeah, literally.
Yes, yes. All right. If then your family influence and who you want to shout out.
My family is very supportive. Like I said, I'm African and I became an engineer. So, any African family, they're like,
Yes,
jackpot, we're going to support you all the way.
yes, yes.
So, yeah, the moment I wanted to be an engineer, it was a done deal. I got all the support.
I was probably like, yes, yes.
Yes. So, my family has just been absolutely amazing. Sometimes they would even support me during homework and projects and helping me get ideas and, showing up even when I was in my grad program, showing up to my thesis presentation. I was all the way in Iowa, but, showing up to my thesis presentation and, just overall, my family overall has just always supported me. So shout out to my mom and my dad and my sister and my brother. But yeah, and I love you guys and stuff. So yeah, if it wasn't for their support, I don't know if I'd be done as well as I have. So
Well, you've done well and great. And I know you're going to get that PhD. I can't wait to have you back on and we can talk about it. I just want to say thank you, ladies. This has been awesome. Also, Phoebe did say she's watching. So, hey, Phoebe.
Oh, nice. Hey, Phoebe.
Yeah. But I just want to thank you guys because I know, you had to take time to do the questionnaire and then schedule time out. And I just want to thank you guys for being here. And then even though we might not have a lot of viewers now, we always do a lot of replays and then we edit to our YouTube channel that you guys just share it out as much. So, but it's just been awesome. We want to thank you guys. We want to encourage you to keep going, keep shining. Don't let no one dull your spotlight because it is on you guys and we're watching and then the generation behind is watching. So we need you guys up there to be these trailblazers to make room for the rest of us that are coming through. So thank you, guys. Thank you guys again. I always say it's Sunday. Oh, that means tomorrow's Monday. But okay, we're going to have a STEMsational week. So I want you guys to have a STEMsational week. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank our guests. I want to thank our viewers. I want to thank people that have been watching. If you're watching on replay, just please comment, share. Let them know that they have supported and that what they've said has touched you. So thank you guys. We're going to sign out for now. You two ladies stay on while I end the broadcast, okay? Thank you. Bye. You can always see us at Nyla Danae. I'm going to let the scroll roll just a little bit. Get them on NylaDanae.com. Check us out. Thank you.